deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you've got cars like small block supercharged combination with Daniel Camilleri, steel body as well, quietly. Very heavy car. And then you move across to this absolute behemoth. It is Barry Plumpton all the way from Lebanon like that. There is a definite Kiwi invasion this weekend.
Have a look at the flag on the back there.
And I am here for it. He's going to take on championship leader Zoran Gagic. Now, Barry was supposed to race down in Sydney. They were supposed to tragically lost a close family member in the lead up to that event, so they did not race down in Sydney. They said, we're going to be back at the Winters with a vengeance. They want to come out here. The car is actually living over here now. So he's going to be doing a lot more racing in Australia, which, I've got to be honest, the one thing Australian drag racing has been missing is big, huge nitrous cars.
Well, it's running into the 580s here at Willowbank Raceway. Had to win nationals a couple of years ago for Barry Plumpton. Like, watch this thing at night. It is a special vehicle to watch.
And I believe that the car has had a full rebuild since then.
You'd be correct, mate. They've done a lot of the routine sort of maintenance in between running. Just looking at the planes, the airbags here overhead here at Willowbank Raceway.
Look, everyone wants to see the winners, for sure. Let's talk about Zoran Gagic. We haven't spoken about him. He's won everything. He's got championships under his belt. He's currently leading the championship. Managed to blow out 2 front tyres in the second round of racing. Sydney still managed to come home with big growth. It's been a good season so far.
Well, he's looking to go 3 in a row here at the Gold Coast and all win a national. Is Zoran Gagic. He's won the last 2.
Now, if I know Zoran and I know these guys, how they race, I'd expect to see Zoran go out and go something, maybe a 587, 588, somewhere around there.
No, they've got a dog.
Get a banker, and then they'll turn the screws and try and get it down to that 585.
You call going 5.8 seconds a banker?
Yes. For Zoran, it is. This thing is Australia's fastest bracket car. It is so consistent, this thing. Usually uploads 250 miles per hour every single time. Picks the front wheels up at 330. That's the way he does it. And nice pass, 592, 247 to Zoran Gagic, and a 605 for Barry Plumpton. How's the 60 foot for Barry Plumpton? 967 to the 60.
In a sedan, that is incredible.
Stout. That's stout for any sedan, let alone a nitrous
That's
car.
what I mean. Like that is really.
That's incredible.
That tells me they've got their car set up well.
And both cars sub 4 seconds to hard track as well. 399 for Zoran Gagic, 395 for Barry Plumpton.
He was half a tenth ahead of Gagic at half track, and obviously did have the top end charge. I think Plumpton can run to the 240 mile an hour zone.
Yep. Very, very cool to see. All right, next up it is going to be Neil Murphy taking on Steve Smith. Now, Neil Murphy was just a naughty boy last time out in Sydney, and I'm not going to make any bones about it. He was running way under the 585 index, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but when you're running 570s and 571,
this is the challenge I was just talking about earlier before. Trying to slow it down, and that's why they're struggling. They're trying to work out how do we slow it down to run that 585 index.
Leave it idle. That's about the only thing I can think of. It was a bracket car. It was so consistent, but he was just way too quick. Hopefully he's got it dialed back a little bit this time around. It's going to take on Steve Smith. I'm still going to say this car's still got the new car smell. The fantastic looking Corvette.
Mate, these guys have done some kilometres this week. They drove to Sydney on Tuesday to pick up a gearbox.
Wow.
New gearbox, converter.
It's not really any surprise to you, though, because they have been stuck in such short supporting on promos with their previous cars. Started like a great car, but now they've stepped across into this absolute work of art. It is such a gorgeous piece of machinery. I don't think it's got down into the 5 yet. I think it's got down 605.
Yeah, it's just
down in Sydney, but I think it's still looking for their first 5-7 run with this car. It will be their first 5-7 run. So this will be an interesting one. Neil Murphy, we know he can run the number. We know he can run way quicker than the number. Maybe just then drop it. Who knows? I don't know what the game plan is for Neil.
He might have to back up at 1,000 foot.
I'm sure he'll go back and watch this on the stream, and then he'll probably message me on Facebook afterwards, so that's okay. Let me know what's going on.
5:92. That's the time to beat to get that number one spot in qualifying at the moment for ProMind. Bit of shake for Smith. Oh, he goes 5:85 with the shootout early. Neil Murphy drove into the shoot.
Yep.
That was planned with the shoot.
Yeah, that was absolutely planned with
Yep.
the shoot. And 5:85 with a 9. That will be a candidate for the number one qualifier. To give you an idea, it was 3:82 to the 8th mile marker. 3:82. That's almost it's almost 2/10 of a second quicker than what we saw in his own gadget.
He's competitive for Slammer. Neil Murphy.
Absolutely. Absolutely he is. And I think that is probably the end game is just set across the
He's not going to be able to do that all weekend with the shoots out early.
No.
It's, when you're playing that fine line,
Or can he?
you never know, but 5:85 with the shoots out early, the 1 metre further down track and he goes too quick.
You put the shoots in at line. The same. Alright, next up it is the Pro Mod. It is Stu Walsh and he's going to take on Nassim Matter. He's 37 Stu Walsh, the history player. Part of the we'll call it part of the Kiwi invasion. I think he's got that.
I love this little trophy of Nassim Matter.
It's a cool car.
It is very cool looking car. The A-Civil.
It's a team to watch over the next couple of years. With the Arsenal that's got the shed and knowing how competitive these guys are, when they do things, they don't do things like that. They come in and they want to win. And Nassim Matter is getting super comfortable driving this car. He's comfortable into the vibes. He's also running a top full saver as well this weekend. This is going to be a team to watch. It's going to be a tough one for them running two cars and doing double duty, but at the same time they are very similar type of cars as well. So, Stu Walsh on the other hand, the twin turbo Hemi powered Camaro.
Yeah, they showed some promising signs in Sydney a few weeks ago in the Camaro, the moving over auto electric car. He has won the Winter Nationals in Pro Mod.
Yeah,
He used that. Stu Walsh. He can be a very consistent 595 80 car.
That's going to Nassim Matter. Good mix of cars here this weekend. Stu Walsh, Nassim Matter. Pretty clean for Nassim Matter. 385 to 60.
Shoots out early as well.
I should say. And a 590-225 with the shoots out. He was only a couple of hundred slower to the half track mark than Neil Murphy was.
And he did the same thing as Murphy. Shoots out early. Washed off a bit of ET speed there. Stu Walsh though, in the lane beside him, got a real strong 988 to the 60 foot. And it looked like he might have got a little bit of shake there. Actually, he might have had shake before the 60 foot. Looking at now from up here in our vantage point in the commentary box for Stu Walsh.
Both cars were someone 7 to 60, which indicates they're both pretty decent launches. But yeah, you're right. Stu Walsh's car just went quiet there pretty early in the piece, and a 10-second pass is not going to get the job done this time around, as we see. Next car rolling up to the line, and this will give us an 8-car field, or a park spot per se. And I believe this is Mark Harris who's rolling up to the line.
The Nomad.
With the Chevy Nomad. This is one of my favourite cars in Australian drag racing. It's been through a couple of different hands over the years, and it's now in the capable hands of Mark Harris. How cool is that thing?
Well, this is running to the 590.
Yeah.
So Mark Harris was originally entered in the top four slammer this weekend, but changed to Pro Mod. So this is a very competitive car for Pro Mod in that 5-second zone. And we've got 7 cars down the track so far here, Pro Mod. Neil Murphy number 1. That's going to be tough to take away. 585 with a 9.
Zora Engaging will give it a go.
Oh, he will. He'll give it a go.
He's going to give it a red hot crack.
But even just to get in the top half of the field already, it's a 605.
And it's good to see because there was a little bit of a mixed bag there in Sydney. A lot of guys really struggled. I think he only had one 5-second run throughout all qualifying. So coming into the first round, it was a bit of a luck to him. So good to see these guys starting to get a little bit more consistency across the board.
Man, there's still be a day we get 8 cars in 5.8 qualifying.
Absolutely, I don't doubt it. first qualifying session in Pro Mod. We are going to be moving into some top door slammer action in the not too distant future. Car sounds a bit strange, not quite idling the way I would have expected it to.
Looks like it's lifted up a cylinder on the left mate here on the launch. We've got 621, 225 mile an hour for Mark Harris, the upper performance nomad.
621 is lazy if you like it. That
Yeah, it was definitely dropping a cylinder here on the left side from my vantage point.
It sounded like it was shifting pretty early in the piece as well, so 621 and 625. That's a solid banker there for Mark Harris. So we do now have a bump spot in Pro Mod. And your number one qualifier at the moment, it is going to be Neil Murphy, only 9 thousandths of a second away from perfect. With that, we will say goodbye to Mark Allen for a little while. Don't go too far, mate, because you'll be back with Pro Alcohol in the not too distant future. And also, please don't leave me alone with this guy who's coming onto the microphone next. It is my old mate, Wade Orger. Welcome back to the mic, mate. Great to have you here.
I feel like I'm getting older every day, and that's kind of what's happening. Good afternoon to you, Rusty. Hello, Queensland. Hello, Switch. It is the Gulf Western Oil Winter Nationals, and what an iconic event it is. Door Slammer is off its proverbial head, and for the first time this season, we're actually rolling with elimination because we don't do that in the NDRC. We have an all-run format. So we've rocked in with an incredible 17 cars to begin with. I believe we're down to 16.
We are, courtesy of Mark Harris, the shifting gears across into Pro Mod now. Looks like Daniel Gregorini's having some problems fighting the car up down here. They're messing around with the starter on the front. They've plugged it back in. Hopefully they'll be able to get this thing fired because he is, without a doubt, one of the class performers in Top Door Slammer. But they are working frantically, and in the meantime, Jack Danaher, he's almost back at the start line down here.
And Daniel has had a very, very frustrating year. Comparatively, his wife has had a monumental. Jack Danaher, the stunning Wilding Corvette, and has the Cunliffe back on the tune, his motor in this incredible looking van. Jack has run to the fives on 2 separate occasions with the Nitro Champ, so he's been now to say the least. And this is going to hopefully be a continuing upward spiral for him.
Driven a lot of different cars over the years, Jack Danaher, so it's not daunting for him in any way, shape or form to jump across into Top Door Slammer. Looks like they're pushing him away, so that's not the start to the Winter Nationals that Daniel Gregorini would have wanted. Jack Danaher on the other hand, right him cowboy. That thing got up on the tyre quicker than a jiffy and just absolutely blazed them. I wasn't expecting that on this racetrack. This is a very, very well prepared racetrack, and to blow the tyres off, he was starting to kick the sink and everything else at it. And a 16-second run probably not going to get the job done in this field.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. It's now because we're doing the elimination thing, Rusty. It's like all about you have got to run good numbers in qualifying. You always did in Crow Cam's Australia qualifying, but this really put the degree of urgency into the situation where 16 will run number one.
And that's the reason why you need to qualify well, because if you are towards the bottom of the qualifying list, your reward is taking on the guys who are at the very fast end of the field in the first round of racing come tomorrow afternoon, not Sunday morning, it will be on Saturday afternoon. The other tricky thing, and this is where it's going to be challenging for Daniel Gregorini, only 2 rounds of qualifying for Top Door Slammer because of that 16-car field. So that means Gregorini is going to be on the back foot to try and get this thing down the racetrack.
So interesting match-up here. Pete Lovering, who's been dubbed the Colonel these days, with ongoing passion with Kentucky Pride. Now, 240 pounds lighter than last year in the Jubon. And Salim, his dad, just ran down there very nicely indeed in Pro Mod, and Salim has had a pretty good test session at the Sydney Dragway in the 5.7, mid-570 bracket. Wow. 575, 576. They're asking, is that the quickest licensing pass? And I'm trying to work out where Russell Taylor was, because I know that he previously was the quickest in that regard.
It'd be pretty close to the mark. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say it for sure, though.
But they were asking the question big time. And this guy too, Pete Lovering, has been struggling to get below cruise stuff with his EC for some time. He's ran the 584 side of things, but now 578, they kind of took care of that. The Nitro fans have been learning more and more about the Acol 55.
They're figuring out the balance of this car now that they've got the new body on it. It's lost a lot of weight for this car. They put it on a bit of a diet.
140 pounds, and they reckon that's nothing to do with teeth. It's just in the car.
And they're just trying to work out exactly what it wants. And as you said, that's 578, and that's moving in the right direction. Salim Matter, on the other hand, this car has got some pedigree. It's won championships. It has won events. It was the two-time championship winning car the former Hayat drove more than a couple of years ago. So you've got to think this car, it can go down the racetrack basically the same combination as what we did at that then. And no pressure coming into the biggest race of the year, making your first start in Top Door Slammer.
They're pretty laid back, the Matters, that's for sure. Lovering is already in waiting for him. Steve Lovering and Salim Matter. Salim on debut. And as you said, that is one sexy hot rod in the left-hand lane. Oh boy, he lifted good news. And Pete carried the front wheels off the ground as well. Nice run for Pete. 583 back where he was. At the start of the year, but man, Salim, that got his attention.
I think Pedlin Pete might have pedalled it twice there to a 583. Picked up the front wheels, he got off it and got back on, and then it came up even higher. Peter Lovering at 583, 244. That's a nice, solid finding out run for him. And well, I would say you're going to have to be deep into the 580s to at least win the top half of the field here this weekend. So with that, we move into our next matchup, and it is another part of the Kiwi invasion. It is Nigel Dixon taking on Jeremy Callahan.
So, Callahan and Dixon. Interesting battle between the pair of them. Jeremy Callahan, who... Oh, hello! Nigel! Had it all kinds of out of shape. Thanks, Stephen Donnell, appreciate it. The tip. Boy, Nigel, the Kiwi, had that thing all sorts of bound up and then Jeremy Callahan, who can run a 569 in another car with amazing pedigree. This car was originally built to be a door slammer, then it was switched to a pro mod, and then constant badgering from the Lovering family, Pete in particular, about screw blower. He kind of gave in to the pressure.
It's not that, mate.
Yeah, he's doing a lot better with it now. 70.5, and it's just sweet Bruce Lovering on that team where Dad took the 5.8 off the table. Cruz has been awfully quiet around the workshop.
Well, that's the way it goes sometimes. I'm sure we'll see Cruz come out and have another swing at it, but right now, Jeremy Callahan taking on Nigel Dixon. The thing that I love about Jeremy Callahan is that they've left the battle scars on this thing. They've fixed it, they've got it back to where it needs to be, but they've left the battle scars on it after its little whoopsie over in Perth earlier on in the season.
What a comeback though. Go upside down like that and then come back to win the round at the Dragwagon event. Callahan and Dixon is qualifying number 1 of the NDRC Top Door Slammer Championship. Boy, Callahan had his drive and Dixon, he didn't get out of the hole, but it was a much straighter proposition. 595 for Nigel Dixon. The Kiwis, they'll take that all day, every day. And Jeremy had to lift. The thing was all sorts of squirrely. They'll have to go back and work on that for the second round. But nice start for the Kiwis. Nigel Dixon under 595 with him at number 2 qualifier.
Looking at the replay there for Jeremy Callahan, he got out of the throttle and it was almost like he thought, no, this one's done, I'm just going to coast it through. Then he got back on the throttle. It was like he just needed to get some of the stress out. 623, 248 miles per hour. So he went across the stripe well and truly under full steam there, but 623, lots of tyre shake on board for Jeremy Callahan. Nigel Dixon, our Kiwi friend, moves into the number 2 qualifying spot in Top Door Slammer. They've come to play this week, haven't they?
And it's been really good having them in the championship. They've only run us a couple of times with us. Of course, that Falcon was built right here in Queensland as well, the Express Stevens car. So really cool to have him here, and likewise his mate. Loving the third in a world's fastest India, the Bert Munro of the field, Steve Carlson, in that gorgeous
to Dawn Slammer here this weekend. And, well, with that, he's going to be getting the fire-up signal in the not-too-distant future. That absolutely beautifully presented Ford Falcon Sprint. Love that car. It is such a cool looking thing. And it's great to see another different voice style in Top Dawn Slammer. In a field that is already well and truly varied, this just adds another dynamic, another different flavour.
And we're sort of getting those classic style bodies, and then you go towards what Russell Taylor is running, and now Jeremy Callahan, and stuff like that. So there is definitely some fluctuation in the body styling, but I love that about it. Steve Carlson is about to roll out in that Yeehaw Falcon. The boys and girls have been really enjoying their time here in Australia. It's so cool to see them running with us up here. He has run a 5.99 in Promod trip. I said, no, you can't count that as a endorsement. It's like, I'll run at the 5. So, yeah, but...
You got to do it indoors, Slammer.
Yeah, exactly right.
So we do it indoors, Slammer. And he's going to be taking on just a little bit of the task. Russell Taylor, championship leader, reigning champion. He's won 4 out of the 6 events that we've had so far this season. It's as close to dominance as you will see in Top Dawn Slammer, isn't it?
Yeah, look, absolutely. It's incredible to think that he's done it, rookie season and then backed it up in his second season, and currently looks like he's really going to get the job done here and try and wrap up the championship. He was dominant here last year, clean swept it, and ran a 5.59 with a 2. Basically, it was a national record at the time, that 5.59 with a 2, and that only the last round ran a 5.59 with a 1. So there is a lot of atmosphere. Of Russell Taylor. These days, Big Handy always does that out of my way. Dozy, Crocodile Dundee kind of thing. And between him and Stu Rowland, they've had a really cool swing-long attack. Wait for Carlson.
Very well balanced team. When you look at it, they've got the driver, they've got the brain shot with Steve Mann and Mr. Rowland. They've just got it all together at the moment. And it shows in the results over the last 2 years.
Well, they've got 741 points right now. The only one that realistically catches Lisa, and that is so dependent on what happens this weekend. Russell has made no secret of it. He's not going to go to Darwin unless something changes. So he wants to wrap this whole thing up.
Riding, that'll be the only thing.
Doing upward spiral for him.
There's a lot of different cars over. I reckon that's probably a pretty fair comparison. So there's no excuse or no substitute
always look at top gear motorcycles and I think about this like 2 seconds slower than these top gear motorcycles. I've got to have a roll cage, 5-point safety, belt harness, belt harness around me, and then these guys on the bike, no seatbelt. Some of them don't have.
Appreciate anywhere else. Our location in the commentary box is
We've got a bit of
we're definitely awake after that one.
Pretty warm. Dave Tucker, one of the locals in Supercom here, over in the Rocket Lane on the NDA 879 national record heavy duty carpet on board Camaro. The Corvette of Bailey McClure, all the way from WA here in Perth. Bailey and the team, they've been following around the NDRT Horse Championships from the River Nationals at the Bend. They went to Sydney for the Nitro Champs. And here they are at the Gulf West North International Dakar, technically known as Swama.
So Dave Tucker, of course, the owner of both ends of the BMPA record. You've got to be happy if you're sitting in it, you know that that's your record. You want to hope that when you set that record, you set it soft.
You want to run under it, but not by too much.
That's not the way it works, is it? It's sometimes it's like you win a race. You don't know all these, and that's what
Target out strong from McClure. Good light as well, a 018. 005 for Dave Tucker though, but how does a 641 with a 207 miles per hour on that 680 national record. So 4 tenths under. Dave Tucker on his own record is that Terry goes an 883 at 134 miles per hour. So got a bit more in it?
I might have a little bit more in it, but I'll tell you what, how much has Will got in it?
That's the question.
How much more does he need to have in it? Is that enough? Is that enough to win the competition?
Yeah, we'll have a look at that. So 10 down in Supercom, Scotty Hoffman, already won 6 under. We've got 300 in national records. In the drag.
A little bit of rotary action here. Turbo rotary.
Yeah, so we got Anthony Buckley down there in the drag that was stationary for a while there, but he's got to move in. The rotary.
So the Dolby car has to run off the dragster record, which is a 7150. We're still waiting for the next connection to load up to see what Terry's up against. Let's have a little look. Not too sure whether it is what the riders will run off the other side there. So the rotor comes through. Anthony Buckley. those installments. The motor is out of there. Nice work.
Looks good, Terry.
It does look good. The direct clutch car goes through for a 714 at 169 mile an hour. And Anthony Buckley, a 10-3. The car was not playing the game this time round, but the rotor, Mr. Cale, it went out 0-40, got out like a bullet, and it was gone.
Yeah, 158 mile and a half track too, but 169 across the finish line, so it was off it early.
Yeah, we know the car is capable of running high sixes. We know that. So we'll see what happens next time round. So Chris Sankey and Kit Hunter. So Kit in this Commodore. Have a look at this. Have a look at this Hunter Engineering Calais, running off that 6.800 record. Chris Sankey in the Ultra Automatic, running off that 7.76.8 record. Commodore looks all the world like it's the business, doesn't it? If you can see that, have a look at that beautiful vision on overtaking lane. That Commodore is just, it's actually almost the smoke makes it look pink.
The top was really clear.
But it is like a candy apple red, and it is absolutely stunning. So that 680 is from Stephen Athens from South Australia in the Mustang. Set it last year. So that's the record that Kit is running off. It's not a complicated class, it's just a very, very interesting class, Supercom. You just got to put a different hat on to understand what's going on.
Light for Chris Sankey. This is all about the ET at the end of the quarter mile. See what they've got. 7:01 at 205 miles per hour. So Kit Hunter in the Calais, and Chris Sankey goes just under the national record of 7:75 at 169 on that 7:76 national record, Terry.
So that will be very interesting to have a look at what Hunter can run tomorrow for the Canberra car, because that thing is like, that is so close to that, whether they've got how much they've got in it,
yep.
How much they can go at it.
Watch this space.
It is definitely a watch this space. So Sarah Roderick and Nick Galea, the advanced sheet metal dragster of Galea, the JDS Racing alternative Sarah Roderick. Got one running at the DAA, so defaulted automatic, and the other Nick Galea and DA.
I've got the pillar between the two glasses blocking that sun, so I'm quite comfortable, thanks for asking.
Just want to make sure you're alright, eh?
But down on the track, so Sarah in the Alta can shake the wheels through this Alta. You can see the big wheelie bar out the back. So will it play nice in qualifying session number 1? Daughter actually guiding her in. She's got to re-qualifiers on the junior today. Then Mum says, no, your work's not done yet.
No, so Warren Allen has set that record back in January 25, obviously, at the meet that was on earlier, the Nitro meet. So it's a 748 and 175 miles an hour as well. Hold on. Woo. I'll tell you what, that thing was like, it launched. It took off like it was, I don't know, it was like trying to jump a hurdle.
Yeah, went left, went right, anything but straight. So for Nick Lee, he goes through an 846, 170 miles per hour.
Now that was an ominous sign the way that car launched, isn't it? It
Well,
really just hooked up and but didn't hook up straight.
Yeah, that's the thing. When it lifts the front wheels, you got no steering, do you? So you got to try and bring it back down to terra firma. Try and get it realigned.
So I'll have to talk at some point in time over the weekend and ask how that felt. She'll go, well, I knew I was alive once it did that. But just a big shout out to everyone who is here at the track. Just to let you know that the bar is open. And it'll be open until 10 odd o'clock tonight.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, apparently. So that's the bar time. So I don't know whether there's a happy hour. But I would think any hour at the drags is a happy hour. Yes, must be a 4 hour. It's
Wonder if they do a if it's your birthday, you get a discount or something. You get a beverage voucher,
that does
or
not
do they charge you double?
stop making stuff up, Wade. That does not happen.
Rumour has it that you go to tracks and people buy you drink, Terry.
That is actually true. And it was with you too, mate. So calm yourself down. It's only the regional tracks. Yeah. Mate, here we go. We've got Mitch Oxley, of course. Mitch Oxley for all his tracks. And Raheem Tar. Just see Raheem. How good was the wheel stand in here last weekend at the warm-ups in the 477 garage and tuning XD Falcon. So Raheem, he's running off that D MSA. So not too sure what they're, but haven't got much of a clean-up by the look of it. Whether it's something. So Tony O'Connor holds the speed record in that DMSA that Raheem is.
The speed record, Terry, what do they got?
Well, it's nobody's got it, so it's an 880, but it's 153 mile an hour. For O'Connor, he set it in June 23. Just trying to look at the drags to automatic the Mitch Oxley.
So the technical word is that there's stuff in the track, and the tractor's going to do a couple of runs, so it should be too long. Hard-working track crew down there. Of course, if you're interested in becoming a volunteer at Willowbank Raceway, make sure you get in touch with the office or any tracks around the country. Make sure if you want to be a volunteer, get in contact with the office at the track and express your interest. Of course, events like this can't happen without all of the volunteers behind the scenes on track down the deep end as well. That sun which has been shining, we haven't seen a lot of sunshine in South East Queensland in the past 6 months.
No, I've got to be honest, we have had...
Right.
Yeah. We actually had this will give you an example, ladies and gentlemen. Our beloved Street Series has had its first meeting and its next two were rained out. So go figure that.
I'm sure there's not just here in South East Queensland, but a lot of things up and down the East Coast that will that have succumbed to weather, motorsport-wise, recently. So that you can see the camera just scanning with the John Deere tractor there as it just slowly goes down the track. And in a 48-second time with a reaction time of a 2.13.
I'm just seeing how you're going to attack the tractor's drags. That's all. I'm just waiting to see how you're going to make it exciting.
ET Chassis and Race Cars is your one-stop shop specialising in all aspects of custom and race car fabrication along with setup. They can manufacture complete race cars or a huge range of components all designed and constructed for your specific needs. ET Chassis and Race Cars also stock a large range of race equipment including Aeroflow, performance products and much more. Check them out on Facebook or head into 1288 Boundary Road.
tight, doesn't it? I mean, they're picking up the front wheels, and that's where I suppose it doesn't stay straight.
Just hold on to your, well, not a beer because we're not allowed, but hold on to your drink because at some point in time, after Top Sportsman, we're going into extreme bike and performance bike again. So we're going to find out what sort of bike the bikes have got. We've just seen those 200 mile an hour runs from those bikes. And then we've got the Outlaws back again. Just when you think it might all calm down.
Yeah, that's it.
You might have to get the blood pressure might go because it's going to get loud and fast again.
Still see Rod Harvey still to come as well in this section of Supercom.
So Taps, Riolo, Camaro, Dave Lee and the Links Automotive Holden.
There's 5 to go.
Sparring and sponsored Tara hats. Looks good. Both of them. Dave Lee running off that 9.414. Cat running off that 8.114. I do suggest if you are going to download the records, make sure you get enough paper in the printer.
And you want enough in the printer cartridge as well. It's going to be as
Run out of
well.
ink, there's no paper.
Here we go, Dave Lee, Pat Furiolo, the Camaro, the Holden, doing battle, Q1 of Supercom. 108 light for Pat. It's an 811 is the record. He goes from 825 at 164 miles per hour for Dave Lee. A 925 is under that 941 record, so Dave is on the money.
Yeah, Dave says, there you go. I brought my A game. I've let everyone see my A game in the first qualifier.
That's it.
Well done, Dave. Nice to see you, my man. That gives him a couple of cents. So that means that depending on how quick he can go, he will be looking to hold on to that. So Peter Mamone and Craig Geddes. Some slowly sets on this beautiful holiday. Dragster off a 744, which he will be aiming to go at or under, and Peter Mamone and BAP, so that'll be a 738. So both of these, as much as they might be two totally different styles of vehicles, they're very similar in times and records.
Craig over there in the Dragster had success taking the win at the Riverbend Nationals back in April down at the bench. So always good when you can carry some recent national competition form into the biggest drag racing event outside of North America. So Peter Mamone there just trying to go through his burnout procedure, just does not want to play the game.
No.
The whole of the Mustang, that's for sure. So he'll bring it forward. Located into this little bit of shade momentarily.
So let's see how Geddes and Mamone go in this first qualifier. Let's see how they go.
As you said, both should be pretty evenly matched, but then it all comes down to what What are they punching? They're punching under the national record. Are they punching just over it? Are they on it?
Out of there and gone. And have a look. I bet you it's a good time. There it is. A 7:04 off that 7:44 for Geddes. Nice work. Mamone a 7:51 off that 7:38. He's in the hunt without a doubt in that car. But Craig Geddes, mate, that is some sensational work. 4/10 under. You got that's another car that's carrying some what would you say, the shopping bag full of groceries already.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like that's what he's got. Geddes has got some skin in the game by a long way.
Scott Hoffman's the number one qualifier there, 1 second under that national record. Just if you don't mind, the lead for 1 second. But Craig Geddes there with that run goes to number 2. He's just under 4/10 under. Cooler there in third.
So what have we got? 6 cars have gone under.
6 already in a 16 car field that have qualified so far. Still more to come. How many do we have nominated for this weekend?
That's a very good question.
Supra? 34. So we're not even halfway based on the entry list.
First day in.
Oh, sorry, there's 25, I think. There's another page.
Oh, you're thinking, that seems like a lot more. Thank you, Wade. You actually scared our medium. But this league, you scared him. This is going to go forever. So Ben Slaughter and Rod Harvey. He's running in that double ASC. It has a record of a 6.600. We know the car is capable of running 5.8. So Ben Slaughter, moving in the Supra, also in the double ASC. He says, there it is, that's the burnout I want. Tyres are warm now. The 2J Turbo. The Ben Slaughter, of course, in the rotary, I do believe. So Harvey, you'd think, would attack this. He's never going to go in slow. He's never going to say, I'll just take it easy. But if the track will let him, and it hooks up, he'll be out.
That's the thing is that when you get it hooked up, when you get a good number, when it's on the money from the head of the throttle,
So it is
and it
actually,
feels good, you want to keep going
hey,
down.
mate, it is actually two 2Js. The Mazda actually has a 2J.
Say that quickly.
That's kind of wrong. The Mazda with a 6-cylinder turbocharged Toyota engine in it. Kind of seems a little bit uncomfortable about that. It's a Supra. Doesn't even look like a Premier.
Does it make you feel better?
All I can think of is that video. Supra.
Well, Ben's ready to go, so waiting for Rod now. The boosts will wheel.
Harvey goes. Has a little look at the centre line, but he keeps going, keeps his foot in it. Back out of it about now, I reckon. At 8:30. And Ben. Goes further. So, what was hoping to shore up as a big run. Well, it didn't eventuate, but that's okay. First qualifier. That is not a problem at all. So Rob Maddox and Warren Allen. Maddox running off that 9.400 in the Holden. Warren Allen running off the 765 in the light vehicle solution altered.
that car through. It's competes here locally. Willow Bay.
So one would assume with Warren Allen running off that 765 in the rear engine vehicle and Rob Maddox running that Commodore 9400. Warren will be out of there. Rob will be the chaser, so to speak, and he'll have clear air. Interesting to see how close Rob goes to that 994. And Warren will get that 765 a red hot touch up. Let's have a look what his time is. 7:52 and 172, and that's off that 765. So he's gone underneath it. A 9:54 at 139 is oh so close to that 9400 from Maddox. Hey, Warren Allen, mate. This will be Luke Cartley. Luke doing a back up from Victoria. Running off that 7910. Goes through Tunnel Transport Dragster.
Yeah, Luke of course, have got the win last year to win the Nationals.
But
Unfortunately,
dramatically.
across the finish line, it was, yeah, whatever he wanted to finish.
But most importantly, Luke is here and is racing, and that is the most important thing. It's all fine, the car's fine. He's here ready to race another day, and have a red cross, red on bracket at 7910. Car is quick.
Definitely, Jackson got the long wheelbase anyway. Definitely seems to be on the the most. So we see how it is.
Normal engine, so we'll see what Luke can get us to. So he's using every ounce of that V8, and oh, look at that. Luke goes, I will pull it in early with an 819 at 121. Very crafty. I like that. Well done, Luke. Holding your close to your chest, Luke. Well done. I do love that. It's like a game of cards. So we're going to have a little bit of a track prep before we go into our top sportsman, I do believe. Is that right, Wade?
Yeah, so we're just going to do track prep. You can see me out there with the track compound. Getting ready to rock and roll. So once we come back, of course, Supercomp, that's their only qualifier for today. Still plenty of racing to come though, folks. And out next on track will be Top Sportsman after our track prep.
Under a free. Get your tickets at ndrc.tv.
Really helpful. Loan options. Ever money.
Performance Wholesale is Australia's largest supplier of high-performance engine parts. Hillman Performance Engines started as a machine shop assembling high-performance engines for customers' race cars back in 1976. Importing engine components began so Bill could implement parts direct from the USA and find out what was best. With this side of the business growing, he opened Performance Wholesale in 1986, supplying only the best components available. Performance Wholesale has grown from a strength of sector. It now boasts one of the best sales and technical teams in Australia, advising customers on high-performance motorsport and race engine requirements. RCE Performance Warehouse at 42 Moss Street, Slate Street, is the retail and trade side of race car engineering who have been in business for over 15 years, specialising in aftermarket performance parts for hot rods, street cars, drift cars, circuit race cars, and drag racing vehicles. RCE Performance Warehouse have a huge showroom housing all the best performance brands from around the world. Whether you're after a set of valve covers to dress up your engine bay or an engine block to start your next build, they can tailor a package to suit you.
Building a street car through to a race car? Be sure to think of Aeroflow Performance. The ever-increasing range that started with just hose, fittings and fuel system components has grown to include boosted turbochargers, bang shift shifters, X-Pro ignition and electrical accessories, Bosch motorsport products, fabrication parts, as well as driveline and engine components. With an exceptional distribution network and inventory, Aeroflow products are always within reach. With more to come in the future, be sure to keep an eye out at aeroflowperformance.com.
It's Super Cheap Auto's Toolapalooza with great deals on quality auto tools like King Chrome, Tool Pro, Tool Pro X, plus load more to help you get the job done. Toolapalooza on now. Make it super at Super Cheap Auto.
All right, we're back on. Welcome, Wade.
Oh, how good is that, Lou? As Terry will run for the hills and take a break,
Yeah.
or wherever he's going. Some great shots there on the overtaking lane stream of drag photos and what they've been able to capture. But it's action back on track here, the 57th Gulf West World Winter Nationals. We are continuing with qualifying session number 2 of Top Sportsman.
Luke Rosati and Simon Isherwood. Simon in the Evolution Water Cutlass. Luke in the Dawson's Engineering Maloo.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, now that they're into their second qualifiers, we do have those times they've run previously. We'll start to see the consistency. We'll start to see where their window sits for these guys and girls. Simon Isherwood, number 1 qualifier. Session 1 goes to 6:92.
Yeah, Luke's first one was an 8.51.
Yeah, we know Luke's got more in that balloon that's run on that bubble of the 850 that they run in Super Sedan. They're dialing up a little bit. As we mentioned this morning, controls the whole car with his hands.
With a 0.35 and Luke with a 0.70. And out the back, Simon with a 6.94 at 172 and Luke with an 8.36 at 170.
So improvement there from Luke Rosati. Good mile per hour as well. It was down for Simon Isherwood. It was only 172 mile per hour. He ran 200 this morning. So it was slightly slower than the ET this morning, but still plenty of speed left in the Cutlass.
Absolutely plenty left. We've got Neil Maxwell. The Precise Automatics in the Pontiac in the Rocket Lane. Looks like a solo run. Neil's got a 7.12 his previous.
Neil is number 3 qualifier with that time, 192 mile an hour. So we'll see what the Precise Automatics Pontiac has got in store for us. Right on the tree, 0.15. But we'll be looking at the ET. What does he run? He runs it through for a 7.14 with a 492 mile per hour. Speed pretty much identical, and ET not too far away. The Precise Automatic Videos Cookers Blues.
It is cooking. And Aileen in the LC Toronto, which we're aware of, and Troy in the same Toronto, but an LX.
Yeah, that'll be Toronto. So 2 Torontos walking to a bar. It sounds like a joke, and I don't have anything else after that.
Galen's last run was an 8.08 at 168. We haven't got a time there for Troy.
Thought we saw Troy this morning, but he got pushed back or something. But we'll see what he's got this time by. The artificial lights start to take effect here. Willowbank Raceway down the quarter mile.
Yeah, all of a sudden that purple just popped.
Doesn't
it?
it? Yeah. Look at the switch. The LED lighting. I'm sure we'll be one of those fantastic Willowbank sunsets that we get out here at this time of year. These two, though, they don't really care. They'll be driving off into the sunset, but won't have time to have a look and enjoy the view.
And Troy out there with a 2.7. Troy with a 7.92 at 162 and Kaylee with an 8.1 at 165.
Big wheels up a fair there, wasn't it? For both the Toronto close up to the racetrack. Sounds like a blower. It is a blower. Dave Knightley in the EH sedan coming forward alongside the very aerodynamic Firebird of Dale O'Dwyer.
Yeah, we're talking about this.
Physics doesn't want to agree with it, does it? I mean, it's trying to push its way through the air, and it pushes it through pretty nicely to an 848 if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So very lumpy on the cam. Look at it, just screams attitude. It's all.
a 0-4. Helio with a red light at a 0-0-5. Stephen with an 8-2-3 at 166. And Helio with an 8-2-7 at 165.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do.
That will do, yeah.
So both slight improvement for on there. Numbers are slightly slower, but they're both still at the window.
They are. Ray Fairful and Steve Horvat. Steve in the 572 cubic inch Monaro. Ray in the Coating King Falcon. Steve's last run was an 8-2-8 at 163. Ray was a 22, but I think the car's better than that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ray had a bit of a moment this morning in that first qualifier, so it was an unrepresentative time.
Yep. We have seen that run in the warm-up.
Yeah,
and
100%.
It's not a 22-second
No,
car.
definitely not. It'll get up there. Don't you worry about that. Steve Horvat as well over the Monaro. Good to see so far he's had a clean pass to start his international campaign.
Forward, hold it.
Yeah,
Here we go.
That's right.
0-0-9 for Steve. Ray has a few issues. Steve goes through with an 8-3-7 at 151 mile an hour.
Yeah, wasn't happy there for Ray. Just again, buzzed the tyres, was up in smoke. See the replay up here on the overtaking lane stream. There it is. Look at that though, Steve. Sailing off into the sunset.
Clean run for Steve.
Yeah, it's good. Cal Davies and Adam McNichol. Yes. We have to appreciate the overtaking lane team and what they're doing with the stream and giving us those replays. It is excellent.
It is great. Great.
I know Terry's been bossing them around a little bit. No, not at all. We've been working with them locally, of course, with the PDRC, so it's fantastic to have them here this weekend.
It is.
Bringing us all the pictures across the first 3 days before it's on 7+ on Sunday. Cal Davies, Adam McNichol, Pontiac versus the Chev Monza.
Go. It's a good pair up.
Really good. Adam, number 2 qualified, 700. So watch for the Pontiac to get out quickly.
0-5 for Carl and 0-4 for Adam. Adam goes through with a 7-1-0 at 193 mile an hour. Carl with an 8-7-2 at 125. Look at that mile an hour, 193.
Yeah, you'll be pretty happy with that. 195 earlier this morning. So that's good. Positive sign.
Daniel Morris in the Rocket Lane. And Josh Oshkovic. The Wild King Motorsports. XA Coupe.
Josh has got the nitrous on as well. He doesn't even wait to come back to his burnout.
No.
To flex that. He's like, hey, guess what? I'm down the end of my burnout. I can show you what I got. But Dan, we know what Dan's got. He's got a small block. He'll tell the world. Small block mafia are telling the world, that's for sure. They've got t-shirts. So you know what side of the allegiance they're on. But Dan's had the number 1 on the side of the car before, so knows how to go rounds of racing. Pretty much on the money with that 811 that we saw earlier today.
Coming in, bit of a bounce.
Sounds
at a 0.05. Josh goes through with an 8.03, 162. Dan with an 8.1.
Oh, happy. Wheels up. We love it. We've had a lot of that today. We've been spoiled for wheel stands.
We have. Not only in the two, but two wheels.
Exactly. It's like, you know what, give the crowd what they want. What do they want to see? They want to see fast cars, big burnouts, big wheel stands. It's all happening.
Shots of nitrous.
Shots of nitrous. Day one. Still got 3 more days to come.
Yeah, we do. Got Tony Wyatt and Michael Obst. Michael in the DMK Industries Cobalt. Tony in the Pine Mountain Performance Calibra. As I was saying to Terry, I think I had one of these Calibras, but it didn't look like that.
It's not running 889.
No. Tony's last is at 889. Michael was 721.
See the crew there working on Michael's car, the wheelie bars. Set to jet. Pine Mountain Performance of Tony Wyatt. Come on, Tony, show Lou what the Calibra is capable of. Show him what he's missing out on.
There it is, after 2 reds. 08 and 03. Tony gets through with a 7.3 at 177. Michael tops it off with a 7.33.
What's better than an 8-second Calibra? How about a 7-second Calibra? Lou, what are you doing, mate? You should still have it.
Yeah. Got Glenn Henley in the little Datsun in the Rocket Lane. Got the solo run. Last run was an 8.19 at 164. Impressive.
So let's see. From Mount Gambier down south. It's got a good speedway track. Glenn's doing the drag racing world of Mount Gambier proud in the Datsun 1200. We're thinking straight as an arrow down the groove here in the Rocket Lane of Willowbank Raceway at 8.22 at 164 miles per hour. An 8.19 earlier today. So they're all in that window. That's about what we saw from the top sportsman races, was that they were just slightly slower than what their first pairing was this morning, but it was consistency across the category is what we saw as we move from 4 wheels into 2. Lou is taking a break, and it'll be Terry Dale jumping back on the bike as we head into, well, not on the bike, but he's jumping back on something up here in the commentary box. But not just any bike category, but how about we bring to you on a Thursday afternoon at this wonderful time, instead of something like I don't know, Tipping Point or the Chase, we'll bring you extreme bike.
How's this? Nathan Nielsen, all the way from beautiful Mackay, rattled off a 6.95 at 197. Dylan Lacey in Rosenberg Motorcycles Hayabusa, an 8.75 at 151. Hold on to your beers, hold on to your coffee, hold on to whatever, hold on to your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, because Nielsen is in the house on extreme bike. This thing is awesome.
Well, Dylan will just be happy if he can bring up a 7 as the starting number, but all eyes will be on Nathan Nelson for the ET. What's it going to be?
Oh, Nathan is out of there. Look, that bike is absolutely blazing. Have a look at it. All eyes will be on it. 670 at 215 mile an hour. Take a bow, Nathan Nielsen. That bike is absolutely on song.
Just goes bang and goes. How about 2/10 quicker than what we did this morning? Thank you very much.
Mate, I'll tell you what, if you like this sort of thing, don't forget in a couple of weeks' time they're doing a Kenda meeting with the two-wheel guys. There'll be turbo and nitro bikes for 10 grand. So if you like the two-wheel action like that with Nathan's, you could have, theoretically, they could have 16 of the fastest snowbar bikes in Australia turning up. So that is what we are bringing here this weekend. And if you love your two-wheel action, there's more to come in a couple of weeks' time if you want to head off to Kenda.
You reckon Nathan's just putting his hand up and going, hey, guess what?
I still can't get over that 670 at 215.
No wheelie bar, just two wheels, hanging on.
Can I tell you, it didn't look soft, but it looked easy. What do you reckon?
I tell you what, it's probably not easy hanging on at 215 miles per hour, but no, like you said, Mike got up well, and that just means we'll move into the next team with Matt Wilson and Russell Lacey and see what they can do. But we know we've got two genuine 6 second bikes in the field.
Yeah, and that's right. And we know that Matt Walker went quicker than that, so Matt is still to come. So look, it's just unbelievable what we're seeing here in Extreme Bike. And as if you need to calm down a little bit, then we bring Performance Bike as well. And look, the Two Wheel Brigade, they have really brought some. They're not, look, I don't want to use A games too often, mate, but it is A games.
Yeah, 100%.
So we've got next up will be Russell Lacey and Matt Wilson. So both of these, I know that Russell needs to get down a progressive run. So, but that's okay. We've got Matt Wilson, of course, in the last race engine. Rattled off an 8.15 earlier at 176 miles an hour.
Yes, and yeah,
That's
if
a
you
top
don't
end.
mind.
An 8 second with a 176 in the back on that Suzuki.
Still getting used to the bike as well, so more potential to come. They're going to keep creeping up on it and see where they can get with that bike.
How do you creep up on something like that? Wait. Yeah, that's right. It's just actually, you probably would have heard Nielsen's bike coming. It's like a Nexus missile coming down the track. So anyway, Lacey and Wilson, we are in Extreme Bike at the Winter Nationals. I do hope you are enjoying this at home because this is a cracking category. These two bike categories, you will not be disappointed. And that's a solo.
And that looks pretty good there. That looks quicker than the 8 this morning.
A little bit of a puff of smoke, but a 7.41 at 180 mile an hour. So there you go. Look, just
That's
there you
creeping
go.
up on it.
7.4 creeping up on it, 180 mile an hour. And as I said, like, we talk about the fact that these are no bar bikes. No wheelie bars. It's just pure hurry.
And it is and it is that they're throwing a lot of power at these machines through that small rear tyre without a wheelie bar.
Yeah.
So that's why you can see the big swing arms on the back trying to get that rear wheel further back so that it can propel them forward and not up.
And it is like you watch them ease into it because it's not the sort of power you can actually throw at it.
Correct.
And because you know that you and I know, we've seen it many a times when people are trying to throw a lot of horsepower, whether it's a car or a bike, it'll tell you your level. And it'll tell you your level in a not so subtle way. And that's exactly what it's been like. So just when we thought it might get a little bit calmer, Mr. Matt Walker and Craig Edwards. So Craig rattled off an 8.64 earlier. We know the bike is quicker than that. But get this, Matt Walker in the Rascal Race Engine Hayabusa, 6.699 at 220.80 mile an hour on this bike of Walker's. Hold on to your phone. Hold on to your girlfriend. Hold on, it's on. It's
Hang on to
coming.
something.
Hold on, just calm yourself, folks, because here comes Matt Walker.
The sausage dog on the Chihuahuas walking past. Make sure they're at a safe distance. That could be a danger if you're grabbing them too quickly.
The dog might get, like frightened when Matt goes sailing past. So let's have a look. Edwards and Walker. Almost set to stun. They bring him into full stage. Walker's in. Edwards in. Oh, swing down the hole. It's Walker with a 0.58. A good run from Edwards as well. There you go, 6.69 at 217, and Craig Edwards a 7.22 at 198. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what Extreme Bike brings. Wade, how good is
Is
it?
that extreme bike or is that mod bike? That thing's a bracket bike at, at 669.
That is just crazy.
It's fast and consistent. Stop it.
Oh,
That's cool. That is very. And you know what? It even picks the front wheel up as well.
just to let everyone know anyway, this is what I can do, so that is what it works. Oh, absolutely wild. So we are still in Extreme Bike. Are we? Yes, we might be. That'll be Performance Bike with Chris Allen. It's got a double C CB on it, and Dave Finlayson's an ASA Street Bike. And Walcott High by the Bella Jack Supplements. So we are in performance bike. Well, let's have a little look at performance. We had Arvin Otar, we had Dave Finlayson, Ken Collin, no strikes. So two of the riders went underneath their respective records.
Yeah, look, we could probably double that this session, Terry. You look at names further down the list. So,
Look how close some of these guys
you know,
were.
Ken Collins right on it, but we know that the Edge, he can go under that national record. Pete Parnell as well. And the
Chris Collin had to put up with having someone else in the team.
Yep.
There was all sorts of action going on there.
Yes, it was. There was a bit of nonsense going on, wasn't there?
There was. Yeah. I don't know what to say. He didn't, like you said, he didn't even indicate. Just come straight over. So that'll do. At 100, what was it? 160 mile an hour, I think it was. Just change lanes. It's like, yeah, you don't get a chance to put your hand out or any sort of indicator in that sort of situation. He, on the timing block, got paid the price. So Dave Finlayson, Chris Allen. Absolutely enjoying this.
And speaking of taking the time to look at it, was Chris Allen that we'll see coming forward towards the culprit.
With his 23.26 seconds at 160 mile and a half track. So yes, he's running off that 769, so the bike, you know, is well and truly capable. Dave Finlayson's running on that 835 with an 880 with an 8 record. So he has gone underneath that already. There's no messing about for Mr. Finlayson. He said, no. We did an all-bike day here one time quite a few years ago, one of the bike days, and he actually won the burnout comp here on the bike. It was pretty impressive. It was a fat skid. He did well.
They do know how to show off, don't they? The bike riders with their skids. Look at that.
What are you saying? So Bo Strikes and Dave Finlayson. We've swapped them over. It wasn't Chris Allen. Then moved Bo Strikes in the Street B.
The different riding positions, of course. Bo in the more upright position of the Harley. Dave crouching down, making himself as aerodynamic as possible. Trying to charge towards that 880. Red lights talking about today. The 145 there for Bo.
David just tapered it off. Says, no, I know what I've done. I know what I've done well before.
Yep.
And look, Bo Strikes, I'll tell you what, a 970 off that 963. He's in the hunt well and truly, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly he's edging closer towards that 963 is the B Street bike.
So Bobby Schluter, Arvin Otar. Arvin has gone 094 under that 9159 B Street bike. And the DAB, the Bobby Schluter, Shark Leathers Kawasaki, just under half a second off that 869. So I tell you what, it's been a baptism of fire for Bobby to go from the junior drag bike to this.
Yeah, that's right.
And as a volunteer this morning working at Willowbank, what a packed day she has, and well done to her.
Dad's racing as well, and Super was down there on the start line. So doing it all. So we'll see if she can improve on that. That's 917. Arvin Otar as well has hit the ground running. They're both fairly new in Supercom, but Arvin, of course, having a successful season last year, local championship, run Super 899 to improve on that 905. And for Bobby Schluter, how about a 905? 2 miles per hour, getting flickering fast.
I'll tell you what, I don't know who's doing the tuning, but I'll tell you what, they're working hard on it. Well done to Arvin and Bobby there. So Edge Malice and Kenny Collin. Kenny with the locks out the back of the helmet. Got the number 1 on the side. We know what Ken's like. He ran a 769 off that 762. We know what Kenny's like. He can play the game. He needs to do this. Will he go closer to it? Will Edge Malice? Will Edge finally get the bike to do exactly what it's told to do? And will we see that 792 get a fair income, rather the green, and it'll be Mr.
Front wheels up, control.
Wasn't happy with that. Something looked like it came off the bike there maybe, but Edge Malice has gone through. We talked about the 792. How does the 733 at 184 sound? Said he might give it a touch up, a bit of the rub of the green. I tell you what, he did more than that.
Yeah, that's more than a touch up. That's more of a tickle there, Terry.
yeah, something definitely come off there, so they're just making sure that they're sending one of our track guys out onto the from there. What do you reckon it is? Oh, it's a timing block. They're just getting a bit of a movement. Timing block. Who does timing block down and move to 2? As I said, if I don't know who believes in reincarnation, but if you never ever come back as a timing block at Canberra, that'll just be my tip to you all. So look at that. So Kenny Collin, we know that what he can do, and we know his capabilities because he has been very successful, as is his son Chris. They do well, and yeah, we'd be lost without him in the bike category. So that'd be nice. Really good to have him on board. But Edge Malice, I'll tell you what, he's just fired a shot across the bow of all the races there, and said. I even like it in our commentary. We've got it written here. It's the quickest H2 in the world.
Just wants to let everyone know. Just flexing
That
at
is
the ultimate level.
Look at it. Edge, let's yeah, this is what I have.
Who's your sponsor? I don't know. I can tell you what I am, though.
I would have liked to have sent the information through what sponsor. And then exactly there was a nut. No, I don't want any of that rubbish. I just want everyone to know who I am. So we talked about it before now. What a great combination this will be here. We've seen Pete Farnell. We've seen him go 699. And off that 761. Chris Collin, he will be off that 770. He's already run a 7918.
Well, I don't think that time was representative.
No.
Because he did have the other bike come across in front of him.
So you think his vision was impaired and his riding was
Well, he was off it early.
slightly put off having another bike in his lane? Is that what you're saying,
I don't
mate?
think that's the time that comes through the I could be wrong.
I just would like, you're going to have to see Chris at some time over the weekend and say, how did you feel when you looked across and Walker was in your lane? And he was, well, Chris is pretty calm, so I want to hear what he's commenting because I want to hear.
Could have been some things thrown under or set under the helmet that won't be repeated outside the helmet, maybe. Who knows? But we know if Pete can get this hooked up, we know it's going to run a good number.
Yes.
So for Chris as well, he'll be looking to lay down a number. Again, they'll have the data from the first half of the pass from the last qualifier, but they want to get a number on the board to just show the field, hey, this is what we've come to. This is what we've brought to the
And we've seen this thing grow. We've watched the journey on this bike with Pete Farnell.
100%.
We've been really privileged to watch this journey with the Racecraft Suzuki. Really good to see how Pete has just stepped up on this bike. Chris Collins, we know he's a good racer. We know we don't have to say any more about Chris. Good, nice young bloke, good racer. And look, a couple of good races right here on the start line here. Let's just hope Pete can get this bike out. Let's just hope Chris can get a good run out of this as well. Chris won't mind. Chris is out of there. Let's see what Chris Collins can run. A 785 at 168. He's in the hunt. Creeping it up there. Well done, Chris. But Pete Farnell, the bike just started to spin again. Probably not too far out. Probably about 60 out. And sadly, we didn't get to see the quick times we have usually seen out of that bike. But there's always time. Yeah, that's it. So now that we're moving into our supercharged Outlaws, I might jump off the microphone. Let's give it a pair of performance we have. There we go. Oh, we've got the Daryl Beddoes and Chris Allen. Chris Allen, the offender. Chris Allen, no indicators. Just how many lanes do you want?
Hopefully they check the indicator fluid before they come out for this pair. I bet you didn't think they'd be doing that at a racetrack.
So Cheryl Beddoes and the Joe Curry Motorcycle Transport Harley, and of course the Bellajack Supplements Suzuki of Chris Allen, running off that 769. Now the bike is quick, so I want to see that thing, what it can do without any interference. Hopefully Chris can get this bike down the hole, get it down that black stripe, and let's see it run well. Cheryl on the other hand, 924. She'll need to go try and get into those 8 seconds to give those other guys something to think about in this category. And then we'll be going to the supercharged Outlaws. Then for the night. What a way to finish the night. I'll tell you what, the bike has been absolutely phenomenal, just really wild. It has not disappointed, Wade.
No, it has not.
The bike categories have, well, most of the categories have, but the bikes most definitely have not disappointed. They get over that 220 mile an hour. Like, look in that zone.
How good is it too? Everyone's hung around. You can see still plenty of people over on the grassy knoll up in the grandstand as well.
Oh, and they're setting up there in the other corporate area. I do believe they've got a luncheon for the commentators.
That's
That
the
may or not be
the
true.
buffet, is it? I must have missed the invite for that.
I think it's just a packet of chips and a packet of peanuts. That's all it is.
we picked the scraps up on the floor for you guys.
You can just see, you can see just to the right-hand side of Cheryl Meadow when the overtaking lane were panning around there was the corporate guys setting up. But yeah, performance bike, Chris Allen, Cheryl Meadows. Let's see what Chris can get this bike to do. Let's see if Cheryl can get a better run than the 924. I reckon she will.
Big flame step aside for Chris Allen.
Wasn't happy, like reefing on that thing. But Cheryl Meadows, have a look at this. 909, she's getting quicker, 142. But Chris Allen, he was absolutely reefing at that bike. He really was just not wanting to do what it was told. So hopefully it will next time, because I really want to see Chris get that double CCD category bike down there.
The comp bike, their next qualifying session is not until 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That'll be you and I's time, mate. I can tell you that, because we're on for 4 days. So, anyway, I'm going to jump off the microphone if you don't mind there, Wade. Are you right? Or
Yeah,
Sam?
no, that's
So
fine.
you can jump off and I'll get Lou on.
Yep, we can do that. Yep.
Welcome back.
So we are back in here. We are ready to go. Bill Fletcher, Josh Fletcher, dad and son. How good is that, Lou?
Man, that's amazing.
Now, we talked about this before, though, to be honest with you. What Bill and Josh have won, haven't won, you could probably write on the back of the stand. The dad and son combination in finals even. These guys are so good at outlaws. They really are. The whole team, we've got John Max down there, he's been racing the Hornet. We've got Brianna down there, he's down there, and she is our current street series out of Buckingham. The whole crew are good at what they do. And mate, you know what? It's always good to have a group of people who race together and you can chase. Because if you're good, you've got to be as good as them, and I love it. I love it with the Fletchers. So let's see how we go. Supercharged Outlaws. Josh has run a 722. Bill has run a 686 in the big car. This is purely just to see what these guys can run. And they've got cut alike, and they might do the run. Alright, Josh is on the tree. 055 to 088. 683 for Bill. To back up that 686. 723 to back up that 722 for Josh. I'll tell you what, as bracket races go, that's not going to be easy, is it? It's going to be those two.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, amazing. Backing up those numbers as well.
It's not going to be easy, those two.
No. Good Kante and Peter Lee.
Peter Lay.
Lay custom inboards with the Nova.
And in the customer funny car, of course. Rattled off a 617 earlier and a 654 for Pete. You would have been calling that,
I did.
young Lou.
Yes.
Was it exciting?
It was yeah, I have to say it's all exciting, and sometimes I get a little bit too excited. So
I like that. And Now, it's a really good
There it is. That's what I'm talking about there, Derek.
Not when, just when you think it's going to be quiet, here comes Pete Way. Super bad.
Stunning car.
That is the thing that Outlaws brings. Old school funny car, new school funny car. All we know is they're both fast. The crowd here are loving it. Hope you are enjoying it at home on the live stream, on overtaking lane. Hope you are pleased with the coverage of it. Behind you, we have a screen right in front of us, which is giving us the overtaking lane vision, and the vision today is spectacular. If you don't like it, you're a hard judge. So Pete Way. Lay and take. Battle of the funny cars. Qualifier 2 for Outlaws.
Here we go. Peter with a 0.9. Card with a red. Peter comes through with a 6.53 at 212 mile an hour.
Young people at Pete got that thing very loose. Very, very loose. It moved around. But we're looking for a replay, are we?
Another block.
Oh, those timing blocks. That's number 3. Just take a moment to think about timing blocks. Pat, I'm sure where it is, which one was that went, but that's a little bit sad. So just when you think it might be a little bit quieter, it will not be quieter. Cody Austin and Matt Watts. Fast as Curious Seabucket. Of course, the Topster Racing Camaro. Getting that timing block all sorted.
Toby's last run was a 6.70 at 198 mile an hour. Matt was a 7.67 at 175.
These Outlaws, they're all anger.
Very much so.
Always good to see the different combinations, though, the cars and that rock up in the category. And it is interesting, and it makes you wonder when they sit at home and they think, I want to go outlaw racing, but what are we going to go outlaw racing in? Is it going to be a funny car? Is it going to be a rear engine car? Is it going to be an altered? What are we going to do? And then some of them rock up with a steel body car, and it's just an interesting category, and it's never boring, that's for sure. As you can see on the track, we're looking at the start one, which is absolutely stunning at the end, but the sun is all but disappeared. It's probably have to be liquid nails, surely something like that. But I'm waiting for my director to tell me where he wants me to go with that. I think he just spat on his hand and put it on the track and just said, there, you'll stay there, you little timing block, just do as you go.
Last time with the warm-up, I was extending the lights down the end of the track. It's great to see that you can see right down the end of the track there with
Yeah, because it's never good when we've got what's coming tomorrow afternoon. When you've got cars that are running over 300 mile an hour or 500 k's an hour, and they need to see. To be honest, they need to see pretty well. And yeah,
they do, Terry.
let's have a look. Time block. Number 3. We'll have to get a tally going, but we already have it. 3 timing blocks. Making sure making sure that it's reading correctly.
Give them a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. That means we get the start up for the next pairing, which of course is Austin and Watts. So the 2 bucket and the Camaro to get the start up now, and they have. So we are well underway again, folks. No more phone dropping, please. You think they might be saying something? Is it like putting the offer on load? We both looked at me like I was guilty of something. Put that power down. 767 earlier on that. 70 bucket. 670. 198. Toby. Let's see what they can do this time round.
Austin. Here we go. Toby with a 112, Matt with a 163. Toby goes over with a 663 at 196, and Matt with a 756 at 172. How close they are, Terry?
Mate, that was a good drag race, and both of them very close to their previous run. So just betted it a little bit, and I think they'll be happy with that before they go into qualify, because that has given them something really good to work with. Both cars were very strong, very straight, and it was good. So we didn't get to see Stuart Pryor run the car before. We are now though, which is going to be good. And Michael Cameron, of course, in the dragster. That means you get to see the dragster, which is an interesting combination, because when you choose your power adder, you choose whether you want to run a turbocharger, a supercharger, or nitrous, or you can run pop, and that's exactly what these guys are running. So when you're looking at this car, it kind of does your head in a little bit. You look at it and you think, where's the supercharger on? It's not. It's running nitro. And it is a tough thing here. We have seen this thing out of QDRC running to the 5s. The record for it is actually 5.56. I wasn't sure. Look, this thing's quick and it sounds awesome. So just savour the moment when Stewie Pryor comes through and Michael Cameron comes through, of course, in that other rear end dragster, which is rattled off a 702 at 198 miles an hour. Oh no, it's gone quiet again. It looks like Michael Cameron will have the distinct privilege of getting a solo run. Let's see if Michael can better that 702. Very strong sounding car is Cameron's. We'll see our parts dragster. 702 at 198. Michael Cameron almost reversing that car on the lope. Cameron's like on the idle. Back she comes.
Michael have concussion. Just bringing the car back. Let's have a little look. Tough. Lining up. See what Michael can run. That is impressive. Super impressive. Be squeezing that just down a little bit more, will Michael, and then we'll be good to go. That sounds strong. 667, that is strong. Heaps strong, full on strong. 667 with a 2 at 193 mile an hour. Didn't have the top end of previous, but that was a good run there from Michael Cameron. I don't know if that's their best run to date. Whether the crew look pretty happy. That was a great run there from Michael Cameron. 667. Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
And it really, you could see Michael, when he was bringing that into stage, he was holding onto it. He did not want the car to push him too far and push him through those lights. So he held firm, got it right in the sweet spot, and that car looked good. That car looked good and strong on that run.
So Terry, timing it as well from that aggressive is key as well, getting it into those lights.
And it is aggressive, isn't it? Oh, car, yeah. Without a doubt.
Yep.
All credit to Michael for having to hold on to that, mate. That was impressive.
Bruno Majezovic and Paul Anderson. Paul Anderson in the rocket lane with the Easy Vehicle Rentals Camaro. And Bruno, PC Freight Services, Orange HG.
Yeah, it's always a party when you've got a Holden HG in the mix.
Yep. Paul Anderson's last is 13.44, but I don't think that's a good indicator.
No, I don't think so. So it might be, is this Bruno's first run?
I've seen him run.
He did before? Whether the car maybe tripped the beams or didn't get a run. Oh, yeah, we didn't get a run. Yeah, there you go. All HG Holden should have done that with a 521 Huber in it. Paul Anderson in the Camaro. Want your action loud. What's happening? Is that car coming back? Glad to see Bruno's car. Generally the rule is you wait.
When we were little, we discovered how much fun it is to move. It's time to rediscover what really moves us.
is up. Can't get reverse. Going forward. Bruce scrambles to jump over the fence. That means I'll probably take. I'll have to wait until Bruno is out of the road.
Shame there for Bruno.
Not too sure what they're going to do here. Ball through, squirting those butterflies on that easy bid from Reynolds and Amaro. The other part clear. Does seem like they're holding them up, but they're holding them up for a reason. So keep the car going. Waiting for Bruno's car to be clear of the track. Run it down on the loop. Go. That should be okay. Sucking some gallons there. It would be. Did not clear the no go. I would say they will let Prospect fall back. Maybe give him an opportunity to reset things tomorrow. Comes back out. Sit there for quite some time.
Both the Tiranas.
Trevor Cooper and Travis Connor. It's a Tirana fest. And when we talk about Tiranas, we're not talking about any Tiranas. Have a look at this pairing. What? Oh, Travis.
How about that?
Says, yeah, I'll go nearly to half track with the skid. Trevor says, okay. I saw that. What can he do? It's almost like it's like a build-up, like a detonator build-up. Here it comes. Short of the toughest looking Tiranas here at the track. It's almost like you want to take these two to the bar. Take Travis and Trevor to the bar and have a beer with them, because that is, it looks like they would be a party, those two. Their crew and both of them. The matte black Tirana. Looks like it's an LJ. Yep. And I think maybe Trevor might be an LC. I just can't see the tail lights here. I would say had an LC back in the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye. Don't think the black one always gets those wheels in the air.
I think it's the two of them together. That is it. Oh, Big Papa Smoke! I tell you what, Cooper he carried that front wheel on that orange Tirana for at least to the 330 and beyond. And oh, big puff of smoke out of Travis's car. Oh, we'll have to go check that.
Those wheels were up at least half that time. Yeah.
Just waiting for the replay, Luke. We're going to get a replay. We're just having a look. No, they've given me the no. I haven't paid enough money to my subscription. I think they get replays.
I think it was the last comment.
You know it'll be on the highlights reel though tomorrow.
Yeah.
You'll see that Tirana just carrying that front wheel forever. But let's hope that whatever's gone up in a puff of smoke isn't anything too bad. We'll find out very, very shortly. Some word from race control. What do you reckon, Lou?
Well, I think a picture of those two leaving would be a one to drag.
Have a chat to Beza over there. If he would have got the shot, did you look the thumbs up from Beza from dragphoto.com.au? He got the shot. Yeah. And that would have been a real shot. And yeah, that was what a pairing. I'd pay good money just to come and watch those two match race all day. That was phenomenal from Cooper and Connor.
Yep.
Very good. So we're just waiting to see what the go is, whether there's anything going on that track, or whether it's okay. And you know what? When someone starts up, that means Lou, quite possibly not. Yeah. Easing down. It was all good. Probably just popped out the top, maybe something.
Got Peter Byrne and Reese Northfield.
Two Tiranas, two Alters. This is the way it works. Well, technically Reese is in the T-bucket, but it doesn't matter. Both of these front engine monsters. How fast? I'll tell you, Peter Byrne. John Dorsey car. It has gone 640 and 187. Reese Northfield, KTM Performance T-bucket, has gone 6-7 at 192.
But they're no joke.
No, so look, we know that the 640 at 187, the 6-7 at 192. We know there's something at play here. Well, these boys can run quicker and a better top end. Like this. What a pairing. Once again, I'm excited watching this run. Pretty exciting watching these two guys go at it.
Absolutely. Those big Goodyears very into that rubber.
It's a battle of the tyres. Peter Byrne is out of there. So tonight, 627 at 224. Ooh yeah. Peter Byrne. That is good. Reese Northfield, the car just bolted in off the line. And sadly, he's pulled it over to the right hand side of the track.
Got a mile an hour difference from last run there, Derek.
Now, is Reese going to do with, I'll make this sure. He's going to wait for the boys to catch it and then drive off. That way they'll go off for the run. They're going to have to do the D. Popping out of the car. Whatever it did, it wasn't happy with it. Peter Byrne, 0.65 wide, and away went 6.27 with a 5 at 224 mile an hour in that that was good. Straight down the hole, dude. Straight down like that.
Yep.
Very good. You think we're going to get a little bit calmer, to be honest, Blue, but I don't think so. But Jaden Gray and Terry Jones. Now, when we talk about quick, Terry Jones, Terry travelled off a 5.95 at 220
if he was out on an instant cruise. Goes through his skid. Terry Jones. This thing is wildly fast. 595, 226. Jones. Terry drives it like it is a stolen vehicle. She's absolutely aggressive on the pedal. Did not want to got a little bit loose, but still stabbed it again. Was like, no, I'm here for a good time. So Jones and Gray.
Carries over to the fast track.
And that's in the rear end drag. It's like, go figure. Jade is into free stage. So is Terry. Just waiting for the bump. And we'll be set to start. Whoa! Maro's gone, but absolutely blazed the tyres, did Jones. Watch for Jaden. 717 at 179. But yeah, Jones, the tyres absolutely lit up on that rear end drag. So wasn't on that happy at all, wasn't just really sitting through or looking at it, trying to figure out what it would have done.
Information down there with those time, mate. Giving them a lot of data.
It's like reading the dead sea scroll. You just got to know what to read. That's how it works. You like my knowledge? I do. No, you did. So Gary Cameron and Adam Solomon. I haven't seen Adam out here for a while racing. It's good to see Adam back out here. So the Mike Casso, 678 at 210, so he's lost none of his stuff. And Gary Cameron in the alternate with a 674 at 199 mile an hour. So once again, a couple of 200 mile an hour cars here in Outlaws, just about to front up. So the Sunshine Camping Co, Cusso, the Garbutt Property Group altered. Both of them running in 6.7s. Blue, so I know it's a qualifier, but it's almost like a heads-up drag run.
It is. At a 678 and 674, 199 and 210 miles. Getting close.
Oh, as is typical, Adam. What a show, pony. I love it. How good is that?
Custom line, 511 cubic inch.
Now let's see if these two can give this 6.7 a bit of a nudge. See if they can go on it or under it. That it will be bracket racing when it comes to the get-go tomorrow. We'll be able to dial in, see what they can do.
Adam through the 672 at 214, and Gary with a 679 at 198.
So both of them running very similar to what their previous runs were. So that, as a bracket car, Luke, that's pretty tight for both of them.
Yep.
They'll both be looking to dial in some of the, when they have another run tomorrow, and that was impressive for both of those competitors. running well, running straight, side by side at 200 a mile an hour. Ah, here we go. Paul Anderson, here we come. The easy vehicle Redley's Camaro. After waiting on that start line, we do get to see the mighty Camaro run. Well, let's hope so. I really think we're falling through. Car sounds very strong in the burnout. It doesn't sound like this. It sounds like it should be on a mark. If the motor sounds strong, the thrill we go. Let's get it down there, Paul. Let's see what it can do. Let's give you something to work on, the man. Give us a number. Another car that's like lower than this. I don't know what you put a deck of cards under them, but that's about it.
Vi på Bora vill ändra på sättet som vi svenskar äger, köper eller lämnar över våra hus till nästa generation.
Another car that's like lower than this. I don't know what you put a deck of cards under them, but that's about it. Final car for Outlaws for the evening. Paul Anderson, locked in. 781, you're right, but it was 487 at the 8th, but a 122 for the 60, and a 317 for the 330. I hope they can get that car sorted because I think that's really impressive the potential of that car from Anderson.
Yeah, that motor sounds really strong.
Want to see that thing give it a red hot go. So that means we will be moving into, I do believe, this will be our final qualifying of Junior Dragster. So now we can take a breath. Yeah, Lou, we can just take a little bit of a breath before we go into our final qualifier of Junior Dragster and Super Street. Yeah, before we wind up for the night. So we're waiting for our first pairing, which will be Isabella Hunter and Sophia Lode. As I said, we will look and see what these races can do. We've got a massive field of juniors, and then we go into our Super Street as well.
Isabella with an 851 for her last run, and Sophia with an 81. Straight into this Junior Dragsters.
Juniors, I'll try and turn these guys around quickly. It is like time of night, it's 20 past 6. They will not be racing anywhere near this time tomorrow night. They'll be racing at 11 o'clock tomorrow. First round. There's going to be disappointed juniors tomorrow.
There is.
Well, half of them are going to be disappointed. The other half are not.
See, this is our last qualifying for the Junior Dragsters.
So Hunter and Lode. So 32 pairing, 31 pairing. That my math was bad then. It's been a long day. We've got another 3 days of this. So juniors, here we go. Sophia and Isabella. Both of them. Look at the sponsors.
Yeah.
Sophia is sponsored by Dad.
Isabella is nanny and pop. I love it.
Field with a 0.6 and Isabella with a 1.9. Sophia comes over with a 7.93 at 82 mile an hour and Isabella with an 8.74 at 74 mile an hour.
So Ryder Goodman and Xavier Paul. As I said, if you've had a couple of good runs, you'll be pretty happy with things. If you haven't, this is your last opportunity before 11 o'clock tomorrow to get it together. So Goodman's gone 8.5, Xavier's gone 8.6. Oh, red light there for Xavier Paul. Nice 0.27 there for Ryder Goodman though. Let's have a little look. 8.54 at 78 for Ryder Goodman. 8.74 at 73 for Xavier Paul. Little red, but Xavier, no more reds, thank you.
Flynn Nazensky and Lexi Lancaster. Lexi's last run was an 8.0.
Couple of 8.0s there. An 8.05 and 8.07. So Lexi doing very well. The Kitson Traders A Junior. Flynn Nazensky, 10.78 in the B. JD Automotive car. This will be all about, I mean, in reality, if Lexi can rattle off an 8.06, just to put one right smack in the middle of the two previous runs.
Oh, both red there.
Get those red lights out of the road. Let's have a look what Lancaster can run. On 8.02, gone quicker again at 81, and at 10.03 at 69 for Flynn.
Both run quicker.
They both certainly have. Maybe the air, cooler air. You won't have that advantage tomorrow at 11 o'clock. It'll be hot air. So Cody Robinson, Nash Morano. So this will be as the track's getting cooler and the air's getting different. And a lot of these juniors will be saying, we've got a race. We were probably better off looking at the first two qualifiers we did rather than this one. So Nash Morano and Cody Robinson.
Cody with a 0.39 and Nash with a 0.79. Nash comes over with that 8.19 at 78 mile an hour. And Cody with a 12.4 at 53.
So Ryder Marsden and Neil Paul. The mighty little Flexcon car of Paul. Ryder in the stealthy looking grey beast. Has run a best of 12.26 in the C, whereas Neela a 7.73 and a 7.81. Probably looking to go low 7.70s, I would think. Out of line. Do the deed. Ryder. From a C Junior, a 001. Have a look at that. Neela runs a 7.79, but Ryder Marsden, 13.1 with a 001. So if you can take one thing out of the whole weekend for Ryder, you've got to take that 0.01. That is a great buy.
Where we're seeing a lot of these low reactions. The junior dragsters.
Nevaeh McDougall from the SBO Transport and Talent A Junior. Charlie Usher in the MRE Electrical A Junior. 8.43, 8.50 for Charlie earlier. 8.03, 8.15 for Nevaeh. That's a tough. These guys probably need to get a good run on this one. As I said, probably not ideal conditions either in the cooler air.
Car might give him a bit of a false sense of security, maybe.
Charlie at 1.22 for Nevaeh. Nevaeh comes over with an 8.13 at 79, and Charlie with an 8.46 at 77.
Yeah, I think they're both really fairly happy with that. That was smack in the middle of their two previous runs. So whatever they've done, they found the spot and it looks good. So Lucia Perano and Paige King. So both the battle of the B juniors. Lucia a 9.24 and a 10.16. And then you go closer to that 9.4 and an 8.76 and an 8.79. Paige King will hope to run around in the middle of that 8.70. Probably around an 8.78, 8.77. And if Paige does, that will be a fine bit of work. Red light there for Paige, but a 0.58 for Perano. And Perano will go through for the 8.75. Oh, gee, what, it's a while, but it's going to be tough for Lucia to try and pick a dial in tomorrow. But an 8.85, a little bit off the dial in, a little bit off the previous run. Paige will be pretty happy. Got plenty to work with.
Goes Carslake and Jacob Schultz. A Civil and SCG Racing Cars. Scully Refrigeration for Chase, Speedway Lane. Go past yourself.
Go like that. Go past yourself.
Like that. Chase, last run was an 8.01 and Jacob was an 8.6.
Nudge him in. Carslake and Schultz.
Jacob with a 0.16, Chase with a 0.8. Chase at 8.19 at 78 mile an hour, and Jacob with an 8.64 at 75. Nice and close to their previous. And Alex Rottenberry. Alex with a 7.7 last run, and Charlie with an 8.01.
These juniors need something to work on, Lou. You've got nothing to work on, it makes it very difficult. And Nazensky and Rottenberry.
Oh, hi guys, good morning.
Those
Time check
previous
is 11
runs.
a.m.
But on the three though, it's
11 a.m. to the 16th.
0.45 for Rottenberry. And Charlie will go 8.04. That is good. And a 7.70 to follow
So
up
today
at
ay mag-unbox tayo ng
7.79
isang
for
parcel.
Rottenberry.
So ayan,
I'll tell you what, if
ko na
Nazensky
pakita
and
sa
Rottenberry
inyo
wanted something to work on, they have
sinandiyan
definitely
ng
got something good to work on.
address charot at kakakinig. So guys, as you can see po,
Ricky Carslake.
people ko, dito ako naglalay. So bago tayo mag-unbox ay ipakita ko sa inyo. So ito po yung setup ko, meron po ditong lights.
With a couple of 9 zeros
Ito yung laptop
there,
ko
Lou.
na
So Tamika will be hoping to get that little
So
Scully
mayroon din
Truck
ako
A
yung
Junior.
laptop.
If she can run off another 9
Ito yung laptop ko ginagamit. Ito yung
with a number in
ito
it,
yung ano,
She's sitting in the box seat.
Ito ba yung sound card ko? So, after namin live, inilagay ko lang siya. So, meron tayong maliit na table or lagayan ng mga laptops. Mga laptops? Sana all. Mga charot. So, ngayon guys ay back to unboxing po tayo. So, ayan
Good
na.
light there. Double 09 and a 117 rock out. And let's see if Kamika can make the most of it.
Babasagin siya.
Eight
Ay,
nine
charot.
right,
Babasagin.
not quick.
Ayan guys, pumunta ako, nagla-live ako the other, last week siguro,
Absolutely where
nagla-live
Tegan
ako.
needed to be as
Pumunta
well.
ako sa
So
SM.
well done to those two. I don't know if Kamika
Kaya
will go that
sana,
quick, but she
ang
has.
bibili ng keyboard. Yung keyboard
Well,
guys, alam mo,
Amelia Wright. Amelia
nasa
Wright
ano,
is the
yung mga
rocket
presyo ng
New motorsports
keyboard, keyboard lang yun.
Rally
Nasa ano,
repairs.
nasa
Max's run of 7.99
6,000 ang starting
last
price
run,
is
Amelia with
6,000 to 15,000 yung
Yeah,
keyboard.
have a look at those two runs.
Alam niyo naman, YSP.
An
Ayoko mag-spend
810
kunin ko
and
lang yun na
819.
ang presyo ng keyboard. Tapos,
That's pretty tight
keyboard
for the
lang
fuel
naman.
jar.
Dito ko lang naman gagamitin sa ano, sa bahay, o diba? So, ang ginawa ko guys, pumunta ako sa Black App. Oo, sa Black App. Alam niyo na kung anong Black App. Ay ko lang yun. So, doon sa Black App, nag-order ako ng keyboard. At
No
alam
zeros
mo ba
up.
kung ilan lang ito,
Gets
kung
it over at
magkano lang ito.
7.72 at
Sa
8
halagang ano,
And Amelia with
sa
an
halagang
8.
373 pesos. Ayan, meron na akong keyboard.
It is,
O, diba? Sa halagang 300 ano,
Race is going a bit quick.
ayan, sa halagang 373 pesos. So, ano siya guys, parang free shipping, ano na siya,
On an
free shipping.
804, Siobhan at
So, meron akong keyboard. So, ngayon i-unbox na
Now
natin.
you would think that if she rattles off another
Mukha.
772, I'm running to the TAB. And I'm going to put my money, all my money, here, take my money for Harvey. That's what we need. So the Iwasa battery car, let's see what Siobhan can do. Let's see what Dakota can do. How close can Dakota get to that 804 or how much under she goes. Keeping it safe. Well, it's jump weather out there. Wade's come back with a jumper on. Must be a bit brisk out there. We're in our little terrarium. So we're quite. Yeah. Because Wade worries he's got a hoodie on. He might get dragged out of the chair. Oh, Harvey goes red, but that's okay. All eyes will be on what Siobhan will run. There you go.
There it is.
3772s for Harvey. 3772s.
Dakota backs it up with an 802
Oh.
compared to an 804.
And I'll tell you what, Harvey, the red light, you can ignore the red light. The 772, the 772, and the 772. Thank you. Take my money.
TAB.
Zane Condello, Carl Schultz. Zane another one, 805, 808. Carl Schultz, 770, 780. We know these two. We know how good they are. Will they be there at the end on Sunday afternoon? That is yet to be determined, but these two, Carl and Zane, are in with every chance.
Either ride's not up in.
No. Oh, I thought it was going to be a staging duel. Oh, red light there for Carl. 1-0 there for Condello. So Zane, how will he go? Let's have a little look. An 812, a little bit off the previous, but that's okay. Might have been on purpose. A 772 for Carl after a 770 and a 780. So, yep, that's pretty good for those lads.
Tegan Smith and Carlos Harvey. Wassa Battery in the Rocket Lane. The Soils in the Speedboat. Tegan with a 7.8 and a 7.8. Carlos with an 8.0. Tegan comes through with a 7.8. On the money.
a pretty nice Smiths with those green lights underneath that yellow car. It looks pretty tidy. Looks good. It's very, very Australian. Very green and gold. Set to go. Oh, red light there for Tegan. 0-2 for Carlos. Carlos got the better of the tree, but have a look. Carlos makes most of it. 8.04 to back up that 8.05. Tegan a 7.88 to back up that 7.83 and that 7.86. So Tegan absolutely, besides the red light, right on the money.
Savannah Candello and Tyler Gillard. Tyler run a 7.72 and a 7.78. Savannah with one, it's run an 8.1. Tyler can back it up with another 7.7.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you, because you'll give you a lot to think about overnight. They'll be able to sit down, have dinner, think about what they need to do. It'll be a good session. It'll be a positive session sitting down if you run another 7.7, because you go, okay, the Bellot family will all sit down, okay, what do you reckon? Tyler, here's what we think you should do.
0.92 for Savannah. Tyler with the red.
But Tyler does go 7.77. So 3 7.7s and an 8.0 at 83 mile an hour for Candello.
All running so close, Terry.
They are. And mate, I'll tell you what, and Lou, really, as a bracket racer, you want to be indifferent. If you can still run a similar time in different conditions, you're tuning the car accordingly to run those times, whether it's a cooler air like tonight, whether it's hotter like it was earlier today. So that's testimony to the crew or the racer to be able to run it that close.
Cody Sedmak next to King. Dixon with an 8.0 and an 8.2. And Cody with an 8.6 and an 8.6. Once again, gets close to an 8.6. There's another one.
Yeah, let's see if Cody can get that. Pull up that 8.6. It'll be just a question of tenths or thousandths when you're talking about dialing. So well done. So let's see if Cody can do it.
0.7 for Cody and a 0.5 for Nixon. Pretty close. 8.5 with 76 mile an hour for Cody and an 8.21. 79 mile an hour for Nixon.
So the 8.58 is probably not too bad though, because it was high up there, almost an 8.6. So pretty good. Maybe the cooler air caught him out.
I was going to say the 9 here is bringing them up though.
So Alex Buffalo and Liam O'Neill. So the Sydney Waterscapes AA and Quincy Motorsports B Junior. So an 8.52 and an 8.59 for O'Neill. A 7.86 to Alex. Stage, good to go. Oh, red light there for O'Neill, and 0.36 for Alex. And Alex will go 7.74 to back up that 7.86 and a 8.62 to back up the 8.52 and the 8.59.
Michael Bennett and Taylor Canuli. Taylor with a 12.3 and a 12.5. 5
wonder if Tiana Canuli is in the bar now that she's 18. The bar is open, so big happy birthday. Same birthday as mine and Keith Dean. So cheers to all those the Geminis. And of course yesterday, Mitch Bauer on the fourth. But 0.26 for Piper. That is a good light. Piper is gone. And we'll run an 8.02 to back up that 8.04. Talon at 12.49 to back up that 12.35 and at 12.56.
Jake McNamara and Bailey Pandek. Bailey with a last run of a 7.7 and Jake with an 8.0. And backs it up with an 8.0 again. Both drivers from New South Wales.
Yeah, from Fairfield West and Peakhurst.
Sponsors Bank of Devon.
I reckon we need to get that. I want to have that when I come racing at a street meet. Sponsored by the Bank of Nan and Pop, and I'll go, really, Jerry? What do they sponsor you? Air in my tyres. So Jake McNamara cuts a red, 0.55 for Bailey Pandek. All eyes will be on Bailey. 7.77 to back up that 7.78, and an 8.02 to back up that 8.08 and the 8.00 for Jake McNamara.
Visste du att man även kan använda form?
Ruby with an 8.0 and an 8.1. And Heidi with an 8.0 and an 8.1. Both similar. .20 for Heidi. 8.12 at 79 mile an hour for Heidi. Don't have a time for Ruby.
No, must have tripped the beams. I tell you what, the juniors keep coming. I know it's a massive field, but they must have been parked up out on the main highway. There's that many of them.
And they're still coming there, Terry.
Charlotte Lifting and Harry Allgood. And Eddie Haulage. C Junior. The Speedflow Products. Car of Lifting. Charlotte an 8.12 and 8.22. Harry 12.32 and a 12.01. Red light in the rocket lane. 001 red for Harry, that's okay. And a 124 for Charlotte. Oh, have a look at Charlotte. An 819 to back up that 812 and that 822. That is spot on. That is spot on there for Charlotte. Well done. And a 12.096 at 53 for Harry.
Georgia Lefty and Ashley Kingston. Ashley with a 7.8 and Georgia with an 8.0 and an 8.1. over at a 778 at 83 mile an hour. Georgia with an 808 at 79 mile an hour.
Yeah, nice white there from Ashley at 009. She'll be happy with that. Jet Pirano and Emma Lefting. Emma with a 1236 and a 1240 in the C. And Jet 786 and a 780. Beck's Hair Lounge. Car of Pirano and the Speed Flow car of Lefting. It'll be about trying to get a time in and around that 1236 limmer. 780 Jet. And we'll go just above it.
Grammarly helps me get the best.
Over with a 792 at 80 mile an hour. And Emma with a 12.6. Not too bad for both. The Benz Pirano and Benjamin Tard. Benjamin ran an 809 and an 864. And Benz with an 8.6 and an 8.7. Runs it through at an 8.43 and Vans with an 8.66. Vans close to his previous.
Not too bad at all there for Pirano. Get those red lights out of the road though. You don't want that. So Riley Eaton, James Barlow, 812 for Barlow, an 804 and an 813 for Riley in the A Junior, the ITF hire car and the Reed Transport car of Barlow. Barlow and Eaton. South Australian up against the Queenslander. Final qualifiers, the Junior Dragster. Everything you've done in the past two runs, you need to be bringing your the best you can on this run. Oh, look at that. Barlow heard me. James says, Terry, how about a 004 and a 013 for Riley? So an 8051 for James and 808 for Riley.